Well, I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. This is the midday report. There will be a new World Series champion. As you well know, the Phillies got knocked out, knocked out the Atlanta Braves earlier today, and I'll tell you about it on my final recap later tonight when all the games are final. But this just in, there will be a new World Series champion. And like I said earlier, during the division era, it is very hard to repeat going back to back. I mean, for the past 22 years, it's been parity. It's been parity. It's always up for grabs now. I mean, players are not staying with one team anymore. It's the free agency era. Yeah. Of course, we all know about the Yankees of the late 90s when they won 3 in a row. 98, 99, 2000, that's when they had their whole core together, like starting with Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Mariano Rivera, George Posada, Tino Martinez, and Paul O'Neill, David Cohn, Andy Pettitte, even Roger Clemens was part of it. And El Duque Hernandez, and Chuck Knobloch, Scott Brocious, and of course manager Joe Torre. That was the last World Series champion to win 3 in a row, or at least go back to back. Then you had the 92 and 93 Blue Jays, and then you had the 77, 78 Yankees, and the Oakland A's from 72 to 74, and the Big Red Machine of 75 and 76. I mean, the 70s was really like the last great decade of baseball, when we had those mini dynasties. I mean, it's not the same anymore. And, of course, we had parity in the 80s, and then you had the Braves dominating in the 90s, even though they only won one championship that decade. And then you had the Cleveland Indians rising back then, and I mean, baseball's changed now. It has. So there will be a new World Series champion. But I checked earlier that the Mariners and Astros are scoreless. The Yankees play the Guardians again later today, and now it's up to the Dodgers to try to keep their season alive and not give up and just keep the faith. And let's hope that the Dodgers will play the Phillies in the NLCS. But either way, the Phillies are in, so they'll either fly to LA or San Diego to start the NLCS. So that is going to be a true bi-coastal NLCS, East versus West. Yeah, transcontinental, Well, if the Dodgers come back and knock off San Diego, I'll be rooting for the Dodgers, of course. But if the Padres get in, I'll be rooting for the Phillies. All right. I'll catch you later tonight.